Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Limitless. I am so excited. I'm super excited because this is a great opportunity to talk to the community and inspire you all to be the best version of yourselves. And the best way to do that is by having guests on who can inspire and motivate you. Today is going to be a little different. I'm your host, Derrick Grissom, but the host is actually about to become the guest. My special guest is none other than the Dr. Dawn Gregory. She is a professor at Georgia State University, an entrepreneur, a good friend, and my big sister. But she's also going to be the host today. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting, and I can't wait to see how it goes. So, Dawn.
Hi, I am Dawn Gregory. I am the founder and CEO of Strategic Innovation. Derrick, thank you for being with me today. You are an accomplished business executive. You are an entrepreneur. You are a motivational speaker and now an author. But in your own words, tell me who Derrick Grissom really is.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Gregory. Derrick Grissom is someone who believes that there are absolutely no limits in your potential. There's no limits in my potential in life. I did not have the traditional upbringing. I grew up as an older brother in a single parent household, two other younger siblings, and life wasn't always easy, but we absolutely survived. And Derrick Grissom, at a young age, understood that we had to work hard. I had to work hard to help my mom, to help my brothers, and to just be responsible. That has kept with me, stayed with me throughout my adult life. And now I'm someone who I like to inspire others and motivate others to be their best version of themselves, because I know what it takes what it looks like to look like a statistic. And I just don't believe we should have any statistics out there when it comes down to being negative against what you can actually accomplish in life. So I'm someone who I'm happy most of the time. I like to travel. As you know, Dawn, I enjoy being around close friends. And I want to share the positivity that I have. I consider myself a self-proclaimed optimist. I want to share this positivity with the world. So that's Derrick.
Great. And Derrick, you recently wrote a book, Limitless. Your potential is limitless. The name is so simple, but it's so powerful. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came with the name, and out of all of the topics that you could talk about, why did you choose that one?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. I struggled with coming up with the name in the beginning because I knew that I wanted to talk about my life and use my life as an example to motivate and inspire others. I just wasn't sure how to make that happen. One of the things I enjoy when I like to read is I enjoy simplicity, because it makes it easier, number one, to follow the book, but if there's a good title, it makes me more interesting to want to read the book when I'm in my downtime. So when I came up with the word limitless, it came from my company, My Limitless Growth. I have an organization that I started back in 2021, August of 2021, called My Limitless Growth, and the whole purpose of My Limitless Growth was to, again, motivate and inspire people to not put limitations on their growth. So fast forward to a year later, August of 2022, pondering about a book name, there were several names that came to mind. Living to Inspire was one of them, and that was actually going to be the name of the book. And it's so funny because my producer of this podcast, he and I had talked about the whole book writing, and he was giving me tips, and that's one of the names that we threw out there, that I threw out there. He loved it. But as I started to get deeper and deeper into writing the book, so the name of the book was going to be Living to Inspire. But as I started to get deeper and deeper into writing the book, it just dawned on me that My Limitless Growth, the whole name of the company, was birthed out of no limitations. That's the message I'm trying to get out there. Don't put limitations on your life. As a result, maybe 1/4 through the book, God put it in my heart to change the name. It was about 2:00 in the morning. I just jumped up and said, Limitless. That's the name of the book. And I ran to the computer, I got to typing, and that's how that came about.
That's wonderful. So Derrick, so many people are going through different struggles in their lives, right? We all face obstacles and challenges. There may be individuals that are going through job loss, divorce, struggling with weight, and you talk about limitless. And initially you were thinking about living to inspire as the name. But where do you get your source of energy? What motivates you to keep going and to overcome the obstacles that you faced in life?
One of the things that motivates me is understanding that life, number one, has its challenges, but our outcome has a lot to do with what we put in and the moves that we make. One of the things that those of you, I hope all of you, are going to learn when you read Limitless, and get it from Amazon, is I used to be 350 pounds. And I've lost 150 pounds. And I know you're looking at me, thank you. I know people are looking at me and saying, no way, yes. Go to Amazon right now and look at the book cover, you will see. I was a big guy. But what motivated me to do that was that I wanted a better quality of life for myself. And there's no way to get that better quality of life if I don't make the first step. Another thing that I'll just share, another inspiration I'll share during this podcast is I'm a high school dropout. I went from GED to MBA. I elaborate that in the book as well. I was motivated because growing up in a single parent household, mostly working poor. My mom did the best she could, Lord knows she did, but we certainly weren't in a middle class status at all. I wanted better in life, and I knew that the only way to do that, the only way to get better is I was going to have to put in the work. I was going to have to work hard. So it started to give me this mindset of optimism and hope. And me thinking about optimism and hope got me in a mode of, if I don't make it happen, it's not going to happen. So I call myself a self-proclaimed optimist because I saw my future better before I got there. I just had to do what I need to do to make it happen. So staying motivated, staying inspirational, not allowing my current circumstances to dictate my outcome is what keeps me going and motivates me.
Great. So Derrick, you mentioned two things that will resonate with some of my students. So I teach entrepreneurship and innovation at Georgia State University, as you mentioned earlier. Some of my students are first-generation college students. They come from low-income families. What would you share with them about their limitless potential that may help inspire them to move forward?
I would say to them, and I would put them in the minds, I would try to get them to see the mindset I was in when I was in that particular situation. Number one, think about the things you didn't like or you don't like about your current situation. If you are in a low-income household, or if you can remember like I did, let me tell you one of the things I, to this day, don't like, but it's because of the situation we used to be in. Ramen noodles. My mama made everything out of ramen noodles when we didn't have money for groceries. We had spaghetti, it was soup. We tried to put all different type of seasonings in it. And I just remember saying to myself, there will be a day when I get older, I'm not eating these noodles. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do it because I just got tired of them. Love my mama. She did what she could. But I got tired of them. That's an example of me saying, what am I going to do? What do I need to do to ensure that when I get out there and I have to take care of myself, I can go to Publix and buy whatever I want to buy and not even worry about how much it costs? What do I need to do that? That's the question I would say that young people and your students should be asking themselves. What if you're in a situation where maybe you don't have a car? Maybe you do have a car, but it's not the type of car you want or you like. Maybe you struggle with paying your bills. What can you do to ensure that at some point life is going to be easier based on the hard work you put in. And that is where making career decisions, that is where finding, if you don't decide to go to college, certainly getting some type of skill, this is the time to start thinking about that. But see yourself on the other side of not having those same challenges, and then work your way there. That's the advice I would give. And that's what I did, and that's what I'm still doing, because as far as I've come, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I see myself so much further, and I still have that same mindset.
Okay, great. So let's pause on just that moment and think about, what's the future for Derrick look like? You have such an accomplished career. You're an author now. You've been an entrepreneur. You have so many experiences. You chose to write this book to help others improve their lives. Where do you see yourself going?
I see myself going to a limitless place. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's so limitless, I don't know if I can articulate it right now. I believe in what I'm motivating, inspiring, and telling others. I really do. I see myself, I want to be, I tell people, friends of mine understand, I want to be an extremely wealthy man. I really do. And I want to be extremely wealthy, not just for myself. I want to be extremely wealthy so that I can help others. I see myself opening a school where I could help others who are high school dropouts and need their GED. How else is that going to help and inspire other people? But for me, seeing myself doing it and then using my story and my wealth to back it. I can't do that right now because I don't have that type of money, but there will come a time where I have that type of money and I can help those. It doesn't matter the age. I know people who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s just now getting a GED, and I'm inspired by that because it's never too late. So that I see myself being a very, very wealthy man so that I can do things like that, and that would be giving back to the community. And then I'm going to be honest with you, I want a Range Rover. I don't have it yet. And some people say, well, you can afford it. That's not the point. I want to be able to go and just pay it all the way off.
Right.
And that's not, I can't do that yet. So when I'm able to do that, the way I want to do it, that's where I see myself.
And I look forward to that. I look forward to the day having an opportunity to know you and see your growth path, having the opportunity to give back, right, to others who may be following similar footsteps, I think will be invaluable to this world.
And let me just add too, I don't want to lose sight on this. Public speaking and motivational speaking, it can be done in so many platforms. So whether it's on my corporate job, when I'm motivating my employees, whether it's through my own company, my own business, when I'm motivating people, whether it's through my social media platform or now the podcast platform, I want to be a voice in the community to let people know your potential really is limitless. It does not matter what circumstance you're in. We just have to make the right strategic moves to make it happen. So I'm looking forward to continuing to do that in these limitless opportunities.
That's wonderful. And going back, you mentioned your mom. And so you wrote a little bit about your mom in the book. What values did she instill with you growing up that you still have today?
My mom, one thing about my mom, and when you read the book, you'll really understand. I'll give you high level, but you'll really understand where this is coming from more. My mom really has great work ethic. I mean, my mom till this day, she still gets up at 4:30 in the morning, even though she doesn't even have to, even though she gets to work remotely, she still has this routine as she had. I'm 43 years old. We're going back. We're going back 38, 37 years ago. I can remember Mama getting us up at 4:30 in the morning, working, getting us ready, cooking breakfast and dinner because she was going to be gone all day, sometimes working 2 jobs and getting home and showing me what I needed to do while she was away to help take care of my younger brother. I do not recall a time, and maybe she did and I didn't know, other than holidays, I just don't remember her ever taking off of work. I don't remember her taking sick days, and I'm sure she should have been sick just with 3 boys alone. I'm sure we made her sick every day, but I don't recall her taking off. So my work ethic today is a direct result. And my two brothers too, we all three of us, we may have our different paths in life, but we all work, keep jobs, and we understand the importance of hard work. People see my schedule now. I have a very demanding corporate job in corporate America, very demanding, a lot of work, a lot of hours. And in addition to that, now this takes a lot of work, a lot of hours. I was getting home after a very long day and still staying up to 2 a.m. to write the book. And getting only a few hours of sleep and having to do it all over again to make sure that I met my obligations in corporate America. And I will tell you that work, I just kept thinking about if mama did it, she didn't get naps, and she had 3 boys she was taking care of. Certainly I can. I don't have any kids. So your potential is limitless. My potential is limitless. That's what she installed in me.
That's wonderful. So Derrick, a few things that I hear: hardworking. Your mother was hardworking, you're hardworking, and that's a value that you take forward. When we think of entrepreneurs, when we think of those students that may be facing obstacles, or just any of us, right, as we are facing life and there's challenges that we're going through, hard work is important, right? That's a foundation that you're persevering. Are there other critical values that you've grown to gain in life that you feel have been supportive or been critical to your success up to this point?
I think hard work is important, being intentional in the hard work, because sometimes we find ourselves doing hard work, but it's not really after a goal. So setting goals and being intentional is very important, because that way you're working hard, but you're working hard towards a goal that you're trying to accomplish. And it's not just working hard by default because you have no choice. There are people who have jobs that they hate. They work very, very hard. They hate their job. The problem is they work very, very hard, even though they hate their job because the job don't produce the satisfaction that they like, but they're not doing anything to strategically move themselves to a better position or a better job. So I think that's number one, definitely being intentional and setting goals has helped. I think self-love is very, very important. I will tell you, and when you read the book Limitless, you'll understand I went through all types of challenges where I didn't always love myself. I've been an optimist, but I haven't always loved myself the way I could have. Mm-hmm. That had an adverse effect on my mental state. It had an adverse effect on my ability to make key decisions that was either going to take things forward for me, keep me stagnant, or set me back. So I think self-love is very, very important. And I'll say lastly surround yourself with people who actually like and care about you. That is very important. As you know, being like a big sister to me, you understand that at the end of the day, you need to be around people. I have to be around people who want to see me successful. And that's hard nowadays because a lot of times we find ourselves around people who really they care more about how they can benefit from us, oftentimes, not everybody, or because they're not happy, they can't show happiness for others. And those people, if you must be around them because they stay in your house, or you have to work with them, or they're friends you just don't want to let go because you just don't want to let go, limit. Now I say limitless, but limit how often you're around them. They don't get the limitless opportunities because that's too much negative energy, and they just don't need to be. You don't need to be around that. So as much as I talk about limitless, limit the negative people in your circle.
Right. And when you think of being limitless, there has to be an untethering of things that hold you back to that future potential.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
And so in order for people to set that goal and to see that horizon and have the hard work and the diligence to move forward to a particular goal, the things that hold them back or restrain them, they have to figure out a way to sever that. Can you give any examples of how someone may do that?
Figuring out a way to sever that. So I will tell you, here's something I do. For example, I knew that I wanted to become a motivational speaker, and I wanted to inspire and motivate others to be the best version of themselves. How did I decide to do that, and what did I cut off? One of the things I focused on is I started really connecting with other people who was in that whole motivational speaking rim. As you know, I am a Toastmaster. I love Toastmasters. I'm an advocate of Toastmasters. But in addition to being a Toastmaster, I connected with other people who felt that public speaking was so important that they had to put extra time in the skill. And because they put extra time in the skill, practicing how they speak, going to the courses, connecting with other people in public speaking, that actually helped me, and it will help them become better public speakers. So it's not about just wanting to do it. You have to put yourself in the environment of others who are doing the same thing. That's another reason why I recently joined the National Speakers Association. I want to be a public speaker, but not just to motivate people. I want it to be my business. I want to get paid on doing it. Well, how do you do that? I joined National Speakers Association because I wanted to be connected with people who are already doing what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. That meant I had to cut out, for me, everyone who knows me well know I love to go on vacations. I still like to go on vacations, but this year vacations are going to be split with going to conferences because I want to go to conferences and be around people who are doing what I'm trying to do. They're already where I'm trying to go. And if that means cutting back on personal vacations, but taking that same money and redirecting it, that's going to be more self-help to me. That's what I have to do. So I think making strategic choices, looking at where you're going and the choices that you're making sure that they're in alignment with where you're headed will help you.
Great. And so when we think of moving forward and all of the goals that you've set for yourself and the obstacles that you've overcome to get to where you are today, you talked about perseverance, resilience, hardworking, that work ethic, setting the goals and working towards that. And that's an inspiration because in and of itself, right, you are walking the walk as you're sharing that talk. Right? So it's not just something that you're telling other people that they can aspire to, but you've been through so many of these obstacles and challenges yourself. And that I thank you for sharing that story. Just to kind of wrap things up, when someone reads your book, there's so many good pieces of information there. But what are the key takeaways that you want them to walk away with when they complete reading Limitless?
Thank you. Very, very, very good question. When the book is finished, I write the book in a very unique way, and those of you who have read it and when you read it, you'll understand what I mean by that, because I actually have, and I don't want to give it away, but I have segments of the book where I reiterate what you just read. I'll just say that, and it really lays it out real plain. I think that if to get to that other side, once you finish reading the book, I want you to walk away thinking, I just don't have an excuse to do what I need to do to get to the next level in my life. If Derrick can do it, I can do it. And I don't take that as an insult. I'm inspired by that. I'm already seeing motivation and inspiration from that. If Derrick can do it, I can do it. To that point, I have an opportunity, and I'm so thankful. I published the book on March 10th. That was a Saturday. And I was contacted by an exhibitor with the Los Angeles Times that Monday because they had some ghostwriter go out to Amazon and they reviewed the book and said it was a great review. And as a result, I've been invited to the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books. It's an annual event that I didn't even know about, but it's the largest festival of books in the country with 150,000 attendees, April the 22nd, 23rd, and they are not playing. I thought it was a joke when I got the call, but it wasn't a joke. They were serious, and not just that. That was on a Monday. By Tuesday, I had to overnight a signed autographed copy of my book, and now hotel reservations have been made. I'm certainly going as a new author. But one of the things that I shared with them during my conversation was, I want people. I know I will be featured as a aspiring author and new author, self-published author, But when people read this book, I want them to walk away thinking, if he did it, I can do it. And I don't care what your background is. I don't care if you came from a single parent household, a 2-parent household, white, black, gender orientation. I don't care who you are. You could be in Australia, or you can be in Seattle, or you can be in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm at. I want you to read that book and say, stop making excuses. Stop making excuses for yourself. Stop making excuses for other people. Derrick did it. I can do it because he's no better than me. I don't take offense to that. That is what I want people to get when they read the book.
Thank you. So you heard it first here with Derrick Grissom. Limitless. Your potential is limitless. If he can do it, you can do it. There's nothing that stops you. Hard work, perseverance, set your goal, set that vision, work hard towards it, and the future is limitless. Thank you, Derrick, for having me today, and I can't wait to see your limitless future as well.
Thank you, Dawn, Dr. Gregory, Dr. Dawn Gregory. I will tell you, I was nervous about the flipping of the switch because I'm supposed to be doing an interview and I had prepared my questions just to be put on the spot. This was not planned. I gave no free questions for this. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to share details with the audience on the book. I really, as Dr. Gregory stated, please, if you are wanting inspiration, motivation, if you are looking to motivate someone else. I know some of you are looking at me and thinking, I don't need motivation. I don't need inspiration because, quite frankly, I got this. And I believe you, but I bet you know someone that don't. So since you do, get the book for them. And when you send them the book, tell them they can be inspired, they can be motivated, they too can have a limitless potential. You can go to my website, mylimitlessgrowth.com, and get the book there. You can obviously go to Amazon and purchase the book. And if you're looking for a keynote speaker to actually come and share this information with you in person, you can find all that information on my website. Would be happy to do so. So thank you, Dr. Gregory. Thank you all. And until the next episode,
thank you.
Have a good one.